SLEESTPFL. Sensing logical extratum, conqueror, legionnaire, or archetype Georgy Zhukov. Jung. Extroverted, sensing, logical, irrational. Renan. Static, yielding, aristocratic, strategic, constructivist, far-sighted, merry, decisive, negativist, result, declaring. Velenko. Communication style, businesslike, romance style, aggressive, forms of thinking, holographical panoramic cognition. Groups. Beta Quadra, ST pragmatists, EP temperament. Extroverted. He focuses on the outer world. He manipulates real objects, feelings, emotions, and sensations, rather than delves into a world of imagination. Sensing. He is emphasizing concrete, tangible details that can be directly experienced, making him more realistic and down to earth. More aware of his surroundings and living in the present moment. Pay attention to details rather than the big picture. Logical. He sees the world through the lens of rules and logical connections, makes decisions based on logic more often than not, prefers logical evaluations, right or wrong, and prefers argumentation over persuasion. Irrational. He absorbs information without evaluating it or applying it to his or her own experience. Wait and see or make a rasher decision. Stress tolerance is high. Unpredictability and spontaneity. Merry. He is good at noticing emotional background, and perceive the emotional aspects separate from the activity. Decisive. His natural state is readiness. Normally he is mobilized. When the work is done, finds it hard to relax without a ritual. Aristocratic. He is inclined to perceive and refer to other people, and themselves, by means of groupings and categories. Yielding. Resources are sacred, but ideas are freely shared and manipulated. Farsighted. He is inclined to solve problems by primarily using that information, which they possess through knowledge and experience. Result. He does things randomly, detached from processes and tends to multitasking. Static. He perceives events in a discrete states rather than continuous changes. Strategic. He focuses on goals, and manipulates them, with methods unsettled. Constructivist. He tends to minimize the emotional elements of interaction, preferring to focus on the business elements. Negativist. He is inclined to detect and resolve problems within things, systems, or processes. Socially and intellectually more distrusting and disinterested at first. Declaring. He has tendency to monologue, listens attentively and silently to other speeches to return to a long speech. Communication style, businesslike. He contacts with others over their activities, and direct emotions at their work and their engagements. Forms of thinking, holographical panoramic cognition. It is analytic, negative, and inductive. They reach reliable precision of thought. They periodically turn the object of thought to its opposite side. They sporadically change the angle of examination or criterion of judgment. Romance style, aggressive. He has no doubts about own interest in another person. He is not prone to hesitation reveal that interest. ST pragmatist. Its interactions are likely to be based on sports activities or discussion of, or cooperation in, projects related to manual work and engineering. Very typical examples of groups formed mainly of members of this club are groups of car enthusiasts where actively repairing and refurbishing them with their own hands is a key component of their activities. Beta Quadra. Merry, decisive, aristocratic, They prefer situations in which the power structure and hierarchy are clearly defined, and ambiguities are minimized. People who share their beliefs and express them with obvious enthusiasm and emotion energize them. They value feelings more when they are demonstrated through clear emotional expression. They raise the intensity of their emotional expression in order to elicit a response from others. Aristocracy. EP temperament. Energetic, flexible, mobile, impulsive. Seems optimistic and open-minded. Entertains people easily and natural. SLE Model A. SE Program. Ego mental valuable inert verbal acceptable strong 4D. TI Creative Zone. Ego mental valuable contact productive verbal strong 3D. NE Role. Super ego mental non-valuable weak contact acceptable nonverbal 2D. FI Trouble Zone. Super ego mental non-valuable weak inert productive nonverbal 1D. NI Suggestive. Super ID vital valuable weak contact acceptable verbal 1D. FE Activating. Super ID vital valuable weak inert productive verbal 2D. SI Ignoring. ID vital non-valuable strong inert acceptable nonverbal 3D. TE Standard Area. ID vital non-valuable strong contact productive nonverbal 4D. SE Program. He can organize people, move them around as needed, and guide them toward a common goal. He values others' obedience and subservience, because it allows him to make things happen more effectively. They are acutely aware of territorial disputes and confrontational behavior taking place around them. TI Creative Zone. He can quickly generate logical systems and formulations to explain a collection of phenomena he has seen or studied. These systems or explanations are not considered permanent or all-encompassing, but can be improved or discarded as new experience and information is gained. NE Role. He has doubts about the motives, intentions, and abilities of others. He tends to be skeptical of any unexpected or novel behavior or developments. He is especially irritated when people are late for unknown reasons, and act in other independent and unpredictable ways. FI Trouble Zone. When his relationships with others are not clearly defined, he is either overly suspicious or overly assuming. Suggestions that he may have acted unethically are met with astonishment. Expressions of deep personal feelings, whether from another or from oneself, are awkward for him. NI Suggestive. He is drawn to people who are confident in their ability to assess where current trends are heading and choose the best time to act. He is impulsive, but he is also wary of going too far in his impulsiveness, because he is unsure of his own ability. FE Activating. He craves situations in which people are having fun, laughing and joking, and are emotionally free and spontaneous. However, he is generally unable to create this atmosphere himself and must rely on other means. Failure at such attempts results in disappointment, which the individual either hides or reacts to with frustration. SI Ignoring. He prioritizes the external act of encountering and interacting with the world. Exploration of sensations, according to these types, should be done privately and on one's own time. People should be ready to interact, get involved, and command situations in public without having to weigh everything first. EE Standard Area. He is skilled at identifying aspects of information, statements, or actions that are realistically accurate when compared to available external sources of information. When pursuing a concept fueled by power or intuition, they tend to see this as less important than their internal logical consistency. SLE Intertype Relationship. Dual IEI. Identical SLE. Activator EIE. Mirror LSI. Semi-dual ILI. Kindred SEE. Benefactor LIE. Supervisor ESI. Extinguishment SLI. Superego IEE. Quasi-identical LSE. Conflictor EII. Mirage SEI. Business ILE. Beneficiary ESE. Supervise ELII.